It's like, where am I on the credibility scale for recommending shows to you?
Equal. If you are both recommending strongly, I would give you the benefit of the doubt. I enjoy Death Note, and I've liked watching Honey Boo Boo, which is something I think Josh recommended.
It's stuff is mindless. I don't know how you watch it.
Different genres, no doubt, but I am a very broad.
Wait till you see what she does next. She's incorrigible.
Don't you ever say to yourself, "Is this what my life has become?"
I don't watch Honey Boo Boo.
Okay.
Well, I do
watch
like
1,000-Pound Sisters though.
Like. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the FTS podcast. This is Friends Talking Shop. I meant to look. We are on episode 23.
23. This is 23.
That's what I thought. Episode 23, and we're super happy to bring this podcast to you. And I will have to hand it to my partners here. This was not an easy episode to schedule because Josh is in his bunker at his normal location. I am in my bunker in my location. Omar is out and about, and it is late. You are dialing in from London, so
this is our.
Thank you so much.
This is. Look, there are some things that are inevitable. Like we'll have our pentultimate episode. What does that word mean, by the way?
The one before the last.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that will happen at some point, right, in the future.
True. Yeah.
So that'll be a famous episode, and then this is our first international episode.
That's right.
So I've decided, because I'm in London, I am going to speak for the length of this podcast with an English accent.
Wonderful.
Oh, that won't be too annoying.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Oh, bravo.
I don't think.
Cheerio.
Was that
Cheerio.
it? Was that
Which
was
part
that
of London? Is Scottish? You gonna do pure London?
I live in Kensington. My father owns a lot of land here, so I'm a lord.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
maybe the Central Jersey London accent.
That was more of a Game of
what
Thrones
that
accent. Yeah, I don't think that
was terrible.
My name is Oliver, and I like to go to the park.
Not.
Is that not English
more,
at all?
please.
Is it okay?
No, it's like a guy trying to sound English.
Maybe I could sound like someone who works at one of the.
You're no Daniel Day-Lewis.
I can do Indian restaurants, Indian accents actually very well.
Well,
Okay.
okay. Well,
right.
let's not. Yeah.
I'll bet you Omar tells other people I can do any accent and I am spot on. And
Yeah, that's right.
As proof that
I was not blessed. Do you guys have friends of yours who are good with accents? Can do multiple accents?
I haven't had that session with my friends yet in all these years about
Come on,
what accents
really?
can you do. No, have you ever done that where you said,
Of
"Hey,
course,
let's
natural
go through."
discourse. So when you're with people, people talk in accents. And David, you as well? Nothing?
Well, I have noticed that if I like when I visited other countries, that then after hearing it for a while, then I become like I think I could do it. Like we were in Ireland, and by the end, I felt like I could do a pretty good Irish accent.
You brogue?
I can't do it now. Like I need immersion.
And
Yeah.
any of your friends, are they like,
You can do a
can they
Sean
do
Connery.
impressions? Yeah.
Can you do a Sean
Who?
Connery?
Who, David? I can't.
Yeah.
I cannot.
Yeah,
I am the last dragon. Is that good? Is that pretty bad?
That's the reference you used. His
That was
dragon movie.
fun.
Oh, the
bad,
last dragon.
actually.
That's the only sentence I could do with Sean Connery.
No,
I am
James
the
Bond.
last dragon. No, I can't do James Bond.
Pretty good.
It's amazing. Well,
Yeah.
But we're here. We're here all together.
we're here. We're together on Skype.
That's what I dragged against our will.
It might be. Yeah, one of us is a bully in scheduling. We won't say which one.
I agree.
But,
I agree.
One is difficult, one's a bully, and I'm compliant. So you can figure out the rest. Anyway, I am Dave, one of your hosts for the FTS podcast. Very happy to be here. I will announce and admit to you, I just flew in from Chicago, which is a short flight, but I am in post-flight mode, which I don't think that's the first time that's happened, but my memory and I'm not the same after a flight than I am before a flight. Let's just leave it at that. The whole fear of flying and everything. But anyway.
You sound quite normal to me.
Yeah, thank you. Well, we'll see. We
All
got an hour in front of us. Let's see how it goes. I could doze off.
Oh, that would be wonderful for ratings.
You'll have to, poke me
Yes.
virtually. So I'm Dave, and I'm here and ready to go. And I'd like you to meet, if you haven't met him before, is Josh. Josh, how you doing today?
I am doing well. I saw something on my Roku the other day. It was very exciting that related to one of our episodes. So there was a flash advertisement for a new show on Roku called Murder House Flip. And I'm like, that's interesting.
Wait.
Oh,
First of all, so
I know where you're going.
You have Roku.
Yes,
You have Roku,
I do.
and you saw an ad that
Yes.
was targeted at you called Murder House Flip.
I
Yeah,
see where you're going with this.
Yes. I
No,
think
I'll let you continue.
Well, I know
that
what you're
is
saying.
eerily, yeah, they targeted you. Yeah, that's right. You just have talked about that. That can't be a
I
coincidence.
just talked about that in one of our episodes, but that's exciting. That means Roku is listening to our podcast.
Yeah. Well, explain what that just means. for
But I
someone who
talked
hasn't-
about I had a topic not so long ago about, would you buy a house where a murder was committed in it? And, seemed like everyone except Omar on the male gender side said, yeah, probably. And a lot of females, majority of them that we talked to or that I talked to said, no, definitely not. I would never live there. And here we go. And here's a show about exactly that topic. There are
Unbelievable.
homes from previous killers and felons, and they're redoing them and flipping them.
You watch it with
Of
your
course,
wife?
I'm going to watch it. I got to watch it.
Yeah, this would be a great time with your wife to say, "See, I would have bought that," and she'll say, "I would never have done that." You'll just
That's
do
what I
that
want
for
to
every-
see. I want
Yeah.
to see if she goes, "Ooh, they did a good job with that." Yeah, I would buy that.
Okay.
Because once you
All right.
see it, it's
wait.
very different than just
I
talking about
forgot.
the subject.
Refresh my memory. If you're selling a house that someone was
Yeah.
murdered in,
Yes,
you have to disclose that to the buyer.
you do.
How about if
That-
it happened like 30, 40 years ago?
I don't know. I don't know the rules of anything at all for any of this. But
David, I thought he
there's
would.
a lot of
I thought he would.
disclosures.
Yeah, I
There's
thought
a
you
lot
did
of
research.
disclosures that go on, and I'd imagine it varies by state too. Like there's
I don't
different
recall the disclosure
Yeah,
form.
it's like Roe versus Wade.
where it's that's right. It's very similar.
Well-
Where it says check here if there was a murder.
Yeah, right. Is it a
Yeah.
gruesome murder, a slightly gruesome murder?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
an
don't know.
accident. What if it was an accident? If someone slipped down the staircase.
There was never. Yeah, right. We thought that's where this all originated from.
Yeah,
the
I don't-
staircase.
when you-
That documentary.
Right.
I watched it.
Oh, you did. Which one? The documentary or the HBO Max?
HBO special.
Yeah.
HBO
Did you like it?
Yes.
That's not a-
Yes, I know. I liked it. I liked
good,
that there was
right?
no real answer at the end, but it still was fulfilling.
Yeah, it's
That's kind of
ambiguous
like how I
as
feel
to
when I have a conversation with Josh about a topic.
Yeah, you're left hanging.
But still fulfilling.
Yeah, right.
But Murder House Flip is going to solve
All right.
the question that we proposed on the podcast. Would you buy it if a murder occurred there and you really love the house?
What a great piece of information that is. For someone who listened to that episode, if that has jogged your interest, now you've got a TV show to kind of scratch that itch. Yeah, this is great.
Have we mentioned that that Roku is one of our sponsors now?
Roku is awesome, by the way. They're not a paying sponsor, but I have no qualms of talking them up. It's
Give it a
a
shout out.
fantastic service.
All right. Well, good to see you, Josh.
Yes.
And our third host, Omar, the top of Omar's head has joined us. Omar, thank you for joining us from London. I know it's very late. How are you? And how is your flight to London? Are you hanging in there okay?
20-minute delay. Boring. Nothing. Flight was great. Boring. I got here. Customs was when I was in customs, it's like a race for some reason to get out of the airport,
Yeah.
especially with the other people on the same airplane.
Always.
So I was making good time, and you know how they have the escalators that are the flat escalators,
Yes.
So
I like
there was
those.
a couple that was a very
It's a
attractive couple
walkway.
that I was trying to keep up with, right?
No, they go
They're
up.
fat.
They go up.
They
Oh,
go
they go up?
up and
Yeah.
they go and they're flat. They're
Oh, they're
Yeah.
in the
variety.
Okay, got
The
it.
ones in this airport at whatever it is, the hotel
Heathrow.
O'Hare, Heathrow.
Oh, well, that's two different airports.
Yeah, but the one in London, O'Hare.
No,
Or
that's
Heathrow.
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 Heathrow. The one in Heathrow has flat ones, and I was
Yeah.
keeping up with them. And then we got to the area where you put your passport in the automatic machine, and they got through
Yes.
more quickly than I did. And my passport didn't work, and it really I got in a bad mood about it. I eventually got out of the airport, but I was realizing, why did I care? Do you guys feel when you leave an airport that you're in a rush to get out?
Always. Yeah, you're in a rush to get. This is it's always a rush. It's a rush for everything.
Well, I mean specific to immigration when you're in another country.
Yes, I want to get the hell out of the airport. I want to get through immigration and get
So
through
you have
and get
grace
out.
against other people on the plane almost.
Yeah. Are you? Eyeing
I
up the
can't help
competition?
myself.
Yeah.
So are you passing people?
Yes, I can't help myself. I tell myself, look, you know what I've started to do? I'm a little psychotic that way. What I started to do was when I fly now and just have a carry-on, right?
Uh-huh.
That I can put under my seat.
Internationally, you fly?
No. I'm just saying in general.
Uh-huh.
When I fly that way, because I'm always in the case of, boarding the plane. This I'm relating it to the speed here. Well, boarding the plane, I want to be on the plane. I want to be on the plane first, or I want to be on the plane as quickly as humanly possible based upon my assignment.
Have you ever feigned an injury to get preferential
No,
treatment?
no.
I have.
But I do look at those people and go, oh, that lucky guy in a wheelchair. He's so lucky.
I did that. I did that in an airport once because the line was so long that I would never have made my flight, and the handicap line was empty. So I started having a severe limp, and I walked.
But you did it on the spot. Don't you have to get that cleared before to get it on your ticket?
No, they just let me walk through.
That's
by
ridiculous.
the way, I don't have a very good handicap walk. I just don't.
Yeah.
People were giving you stink eye.
Well, they eventually
stink eye. Yeah.
Yeah. People are eyeing you, going, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
Because I'll eye the handicap people. I'll eye the pre-boarders, and sometimes
Yeah.
it's a very suspect pre-boarder. I'm like, "Are you kidding me? There's no way you need pre-boarding."
Yeah.
Right.
Would you use the handicap bathroom?
No, handicap bathroom all the time. All the time.
I do.
Yeah, I did that today too. Yeah.
Because
it's
that's
bigger.
not critical. You can wait. I mean,
It's spread out. Although I did have one time, actually, Dave, in the St. Louis one, I used the handicap bathroom. My nature called, and there was nothing I could do about it. And I was in there, and I came out. There was a guy in a wheelchair waiting,
oh, no.
And I felt terrible. That's the only time that's ever happened.
Now that's when you limp out of there.
Yeah, well, I didn't think that quickly. I went, oh, sorry. I just apologize. There's nothing I could do.
Yeah.
Have you ever parked in a handicap spot?
Never.
No.
I won't do that. I won't do that. Although you do see them like in places like bowling alleys. You're like, what handicapped people are bowling? I don't understand that. Skating rinks. Why do they?
No, you could bowl.
No,
I guess
come
you
on,
can.
Josh.
I guess you can.
Yeah.
You're right.
You're right.
That's true. I take that back.
Yeah.
We'll edit that out.
There's many things. You play basketball and
that's true.
You talk about the Olympics. Yeah.
The Paralympics. I'm a huge fan.
Is bowling not an event at the Paralympics?
Bowling is not. I don't think bowling's a regular event at the regular Olympics.
But golf ironically is.
Yeah, ironically. It's ridiculous. But anyway, so when I now have kind of calmed down a little bit, and so now when I just have a carry-on, like a backpack that I put under my seat, now I don't rush to get on.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't need the overhead space. I don't want to deal with that. Not because everyone is just rushing to get on, rushing to get off.
What do you wear? Like, one of the things for me that I still don't have a good handle on is like what to wear when you're traveling. I had
travel pants.
It was an overnight flight, so I wore
I
wore long pants, but like athletic pants,
Yeah, that's what you do.
And
Comfortable.
I wore a hoodie over it, and I was very hot.
I
the
think
hoodie
you
off.
want
You
to do
layer.
layers. Yeah.
Yeah,
No
well, I did
t-shirt.
that.
Right.
No, I did that, but I didn't do it until later in the flight.
Why don't you wear shorts? It's summertime, I guess, and UK's hot now, right? They had a heat wave.
Yeah.
Have the Thames dried up? Are we hearing about the rivers drying
It's
up? In
all
Europe?
drying up. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Everywhere. Lake Mead, Colorado River. I was watching that last night on the news. Drying up.
It's a disaster. But we're not here for heavy topics. We're here for nonsense. We're bringing light into people's world.
That's right.
And that's why we're here. So to wrap all that up, Omar, however you got to London and however your
I'm
trip
here.
was, we're glad you're here.
And I'm staying at my friend's place, which is this lovely home that is so it feels like a home. And I'm thinking, what's the policy with wine? They have a wine fridge. Can I just take bottles?
Are you there by yourself?
I am.
Does the wine fridge have a lock on it?
No.
And
And
can you tell if it's expensive wine?
actually, you know what? Maybe I can just roll this into my topic, because this is kind of my topic.
Okay. All right. Well, let's.
How about that?
Let me do some logistics here, and
Yeah,
then we'll kick it off.
I don't know what you're trying to do, Omar, but this is
I
episode
apologize.
23,
Listen,
and Dave is the quarterback here, and he runs the show.
I'm the Sarah Palin of the podcast. Okay,
You're going rogue.
I go rogue all
You're
the time.
trying to barrel right over him.
It's
Awful.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Let's go through logistics then. So we are a podcast where the three of us will bring up topics that we've not discussed before, and we will debate them, question each other on them, and generally try to laugh through it as we bring up our topics. So we have 3 topics ready for you today. We do have an email address. I remembered. It is friends@fts.media. We did get an email this week. I don't know if we want to address it. Well,
it kind of fits right with what you were saying before. That we have a great listener. I'm not going to read his email, but Warren S. Thank you, Warren, for sending in your email. He says we come
Warren
from
Sapp. Warren Sapp.
Yes, Warren Sapp. Yes,
the Hall
he's
of
a big
Fame
listener.
football
Yeah,
player.
Big listener.
right.
I actually, by the way, I know him. I'm friends with him.
You're friends with Warren Sapp?
Yes. Well,
What
my
a name
best friend
drop.
knows him, so I know him. Well, my point is, I could get him on our podcast.
Yeah. Okay.
All
So
right,
you're making promises now. You have to keep them because now there's a bunch of Warren Sapp fans or fan listeners that are now excited.
Let me come back and confirm that. But continue with the Warren S.
Warren S. really just basically wants to know. I won't read his email, but in short, wants to know. Hey, you guys are from 3 different diverse religions, 3 different religions, and why don't you guys talk about that? And to which we say, that ain't what we do here.
Yeah.
That's a little heavy.
Oh, no. I'm all about talking about inappropriate things, but it hasn't this kind of
inappropriate
in person.
is fine,
Yeah.
but heavy is different.
Well, you can talk about a Jew, a Muslim, and a Catholic walk into a bar. Of course, you can talk about stuff like that.
Well, yes, but that's not. I don't think that's what Warren S.
He wants us to solve some crisis, like in Palestine.
He would like us.
What is he asking us to do?
He's asking us to find the one true religion in God. Is what he's
yeah,
basically
that's
how he signed off. So
well, and I
Tell
think
him
we'll get us there, right?
Tell him to email Nick Cage.
Yeah, Nick Cage. Yes.
We have 3 different religions, but we all believe in Nick Cage. That's exactly right.
That's correct.
I think he was kind of saying how we have a similar value system and we all get along. Like we're kind of a picture of how America should move forward. And like
well said,
right? And that's
put aside our differences.
Right. We
find our commonalities.
My differences are right next to me, so they're not aside. They're next to me. I like my differences with you guys. It makes brings out the best in me.
Yes, and that's good, right?
That is a good thing.
And yet we are good buddies, and that we don't let our differences get in the way.
Don't let it get in the way. Not yet.
Yeah. Can I read you a quote? Actually, this is a great quote.
Oh boy, we're just completely changing the whole tenor of our podcast.
The minute you start seeing your obstacles as things that are made for you to give you what you need, then life starts to get fun, right? You start surfing on top of your problems instead of living underneath them. You guys are my problems.
I got that fortune cookie last week.
And by the way, do you know who said that? Who that quote was from?
Yes.
Ashton Kutcher.
Okay, you can't. When you say you know who said that, that allows us to then guess, and you didn't even allow us to guess.
Well, you said you knew.
Right, but I was going to guess. I didn't know.
Who
I thought it was Keanu Reeves. But Ashton Kutcher, yeah. Well, that guy's, he's the Confucius of our time. That's what everyone says.
He's done a lot of things well. So
all right,
he bagged that Mila Kunis.
David has to pull this back in.
Oh, sorry, Dave.
I have a quote too that I just heard. I thought this was good. This is maybe somewhat a little bit from my religion, but it's I have learned. This is from Charles Spurgeon, is a preacher, but I heard this. I thought it was really good. He said, "I have learned to kiss the waves that throw me up against the rock of ages," where it's like he has learned to take struggles and obstacles and embrace the struggle as as I go through life. And that's a little bit like I thought your the quote that you just had, Omar. So see how and now Josh, maybe you have a quote that you can just pull out of the air.
Yes, I do have a quote from the great Sean Connery. I am the last one.
See, this is how we all work together.
This makes sense, right?
Yeah,
ties in nicely.
We're really the same. All right, well, let's kick things off here. I mentioned the podcast. We got an email this week. I mentioned that there's 3 of us here. We don't have a sponsor, so we'll jump right past that. But I will make
lots of offers. Lots of offers.
We're still going through them.
I'll make a quick announcement. Tomorrow we're being interviewed by the Podcast Magazine. So feel free not
Very
to look it up
excited.
because it may be very embarrassing. It could get us in a ton of trouble. But it is happening. And again, it's just verification that as you listen to our podcast, you are on a rocket ship that's headed to Mars. So anyway, I just want to let you know that lots of things are happening. But what we care about is entertaining you. So let's get started. Anything else before I kick off, guys?
No, let's do it. Let's get
All right.
moving.
Omar, before you fall asleep, because I know
I have a question actually.
Oh, jeez.
Why do you wear a New York Yankees hat?
I
never
like the
understood.
hat.
But I don't understand. You're not from. You have no affiliation with New York.
I've been there. I like the hat.
You like the hat?
I have a Red Sox hat. I've got a Yankees hat. I want to get a Dodgers hat. I just like the hat.
Why would you wear like an Orioles hat?
Orioles. He would wear
They
a
don't have
Brewers
the
hat.
history. I like the iconic baseball team hats.
So Phillies
Okay,
were an
all right.
original.
Yeah, that's why. That's a quick answer. But yeah.
Okay.
And plus they're very good. I think I'm going to start being a front
bandwagon
runner.
fan?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think so.
jeez.
It's more
Why would you
fun.
announce that?
Well, because I don't care. I wish 10 years ago I'd have been like, I want Tom Brady to be my favorite player. And look how much joy I would have had in my life.
But it's not genuine enjoyment. It's not
Yeah.
real.
You're-
It's
look,
forced.
These are life hacks that I'm working on. And,
Yeah, you're forcing it.
well,
Doesn't work that way.
listen,
It
if
doesn't.
I had done it and I measured my happiness and it was greater than you two, then who's not working?
Listen, you're squeezing into
Eagles
size 30 pants. That's what you're doing.
Skinny jeans.
All right, so that's why I have my New York hat. Omar, again, it's late for you. Why don't you kick us off?
Yeah. So, I'm a big believer, as you guys have heard me say probably before, in my friends or my family, and generosity is like, hardwired into my brain. So on those lines, when I have friends come visit me or whatever, I'm very open and mi casa su casa kind of mentality. So I have a situation right now, and I really want to open up a bottle of wine. And this happened about 2 hours ago. And I went through it, and I'm like, it's a really nice bottle of wine. And
So you're saying that there's wine at the place you're staying.
they have my friends have a home where they have a wine fridge, and it's not super expensive, by the way, but do I need to ask them before I open it?
Wait. So how many? But let me get a sense of the landscape here. How big is the wine fridge? How many bottles are in there?
It's about 6 bottles.
That's it. Only
Yeah.
6 bottles.
Yeah.
And you want to drink one of them.
Yeah.
And have you looked to see? Do you recognize the bottles? Are any of them really expensive?
I'm not sure if I would know, but I don't think there's really expensive.
You can look it up. You can look it up on.
You could,
on-
yeah.
Nah,
online.
but that takes the fun out of it.
What fun!
It's just fun
Stealing.
because
So
to me,
you want to steal it? You just
No,
want to
no, no,
roll
no,
the
no,
dice
no,
and get
no,
a
no,
bottle, just
no,
drink a
no.
bottle of wine.
no, because my point is that there's no downside to this, right?
Yes, there is.
If I drink the bottle, my friendship with this couple is so strong, it would survive it easily.
Hold on. What if it's a sentimental bottle? What if it's a bottle they got on their wedding night
Oh,
that they're saving for their 50th anniversary?
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah.
Or any kind of
What-
special
Well, can I?
occasion.
What if
can
the Dalai Lama gave them a bottle?
Can I give you there's another part of the story which you don't know. There's more information. 6 months ago, this same couple was in New York with me, and we had a post event celebration with them. They had this big thing they did together. They did a film together, and their
Okay.
family came, and we had nowhere to go. So I invited them over to my house where I was staying. Now,
Okay.
the house I was staying at was another couple's house who also have a really big wine fridge. And there was like 10 people. We're all friends. We're all family together. So I basically served wine.
How
from
many
the-
bottles?
Maybe like 6.
6
8.
bottles in
Yeah.
someone else's home that wasn't
but-
there.
But they're family, and they are also family with the other. They were all one big family.
Right.
What do you mean? Family?
the family get mad
in
at
what
each-
sense?
Yeah.
Not blood.
Genetically?
So
No,
family
no,
hate
no.
each other.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a huge
So-
difference.
So, but it's a beautiful story, right? Because
It
ultimately,
depends.
the way I look at it is that if you're not able to share, what is it, the loins of your work,
I don't
with your
think that's what it
That's
is,
not
but go
how it
ahead.
goes. Yeah,
Yeah.
not the loins.
The loins of your work?
I think that's your children.
Yeah, yeah, or it's pork products. Tenderloin. You can
My-
share your loins of pork.
Well, maybe. What if the Dalai Lama gave him the loins of pork?
So
Well, if the Dalai
I
Lama
guess
gave it a loins
I
of pork.
guess my point is I drank the bottle.
Okay.
So you did it already.
I did, and
So you weren't asking us. Now,
No,
what are you
I
going to
was-
do? Are you going to hide the bottle? Are you going to put it back in empty? What are you going to do with the empty bottle? Throw it out? What's the
Is it a
plan?
screw? Is it a screw top?
No, it was not a screw top. I'm going to.
Can you
I'm going to
replace it?
tell them. I'll tell them tomorrow or something.
What year Boone's Farm was it?
That's
But
funny.
is that a? I almost do it because it's just. I almost feel that they expect me to do it. You know what I mean?
No, they don't
Well,
expect you to do
Well,
it.
no, wait. If they left it in the fridge, knowing Omar's coming over and that he has, and it's true, I think we're all aware that Mi Casa is Su Casa policy that he runs. He's coming over, staying at your place, and you just left it there and thinking, I hope he doesn't take it. I think
Hide your wives.
you. But
Yeah,
I
but
think
Dave, it's a
Omar-
wine fridge. They're not going to take their wine out of the wine fridge when someone comes. They're just going to leave it in there because that's where it always resides.
Was they have a wine cellar? Is this? Yeah. Do they have a wine cellar as well?
No, not in this. But the house where we had in New York, it was a wine cellar, and they were very happy to drink that wine. I might add.
Did they say anything to you? Did they notice the missing bottles?
Oh
Well, yeah. How did it go? How did it work out in the other place?
You mean
Were
the first iter? You mean the one
the
in
ones
New
that
York?
you drank?
The
Yeah.
one where you cracked
New York.
open 6 of them.
I think it's still kind of an issue, but it's funny.
Oh, it's an issue.
Yeah, I mean, in a funny way.
In a funny
Yeah.
way? What
Yeah.
did they say to you?
Well, they're like, God, that one day that Omar just went into our wine closet, took out like half a dozen bottle of wines and served the, the family.
First of all, you invited all those people over to their house. So, as if it was your own house.
So generous of you.
Yeah, this story's gotten worse.
But does it
It
have
went
to go
from should I open one bottle to I already did it. That doesn't matter.
And I did it once before, 6
Yeah,
times.
I did it before, except that was much greater.
But that was to celebrate a very, special moment.
It doesn't matter what it was for. It's not your place.
Yeah.
I still, it feels like there needs to be some research of how expensive these bottles are. Like, can you get some kind of?
I agree.
Assume that they're, over $50 a bottle.
Over
then you don't
50,
do it.
under no, I think the
Over 50, under 100.
okay.
No, don't do it.
I would think between that range, I think you're fine. You can replace bottles easily in that range.
I disagree.
You think a $90 bottle of wine is irreplaceable?
First of all, I'm not saying anything's irreplaceable. What I'm saying is we live in a day and age where it is so simple to just text somebody, hey, do you mind if I crack open one of these bottles of wine? Then you've covered all your bases.
But that's awkward.
No, it's not.
Yes,
Why
it
is
is.
it
You're
awkward?
disturbing them.
You know you're going to be found out. You know you're
course.
going to be found out. So why not cover your tracks before rather than after?
Because to me, covering my tracks, that mentality means that the relationship I have with the person whose house I'm in it's authentic. Because
Let me ask you something.
I wouldn't want them to call me. I want them to
get it.
take
Yes,
whatever
that's the
they
problem.
I get it.
Your philosophy is that
You're
way.
putting your
Yes.
own mentality into their heads, and not everyone has the same mentality.
That's
Did
fair.
they say,
That's
hey,
fair.
you can stay at our place? Oh, and by the way, make yourself at home and everything's available to you. Yeah, I see the wine. Did they say that? Did they say those words?
But
Hey,
isn't that
help yourself to anything.
No, as a matter of fact, they said to me that I could sleep in their bedroom.
Yeah, that's not the same thing.
To me, that's more intimate than taking wine out of a
That's
wine
not more intimate.
fridge.
It's not about intimacy. It's about you can wash sheets.
Dave agrees with me.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what he's doing in there. That's my question.
I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, I don't want you sleeping in my bed.
Well,
I
here's
don't
the
like
thing.
when people sleep in my bed.
I'm
don't
gonna
like when
defend-
anyone
I'm
sleeps
gonna
in my
defend
bed.
Omar
I
for a
don't like
second
it.
here. I think if you're inviting Omar to know, if you know Omar, and you wouldn't let him stay if you didn't know him, and I think there's an element of it's a understanding that kind of everything is open because he would do that for you. So if you came in and
No.
thought, I can't believe he took it, then you don't know him very well. Because
Okay, can I ask you something, Dave?
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Let me paint a different picture for you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Let's say Omar comes to your place.
Yeah,
All
I
right?
would. Yes. Okay.
Okay, and then he's like, well, I'm here, I'm bored. Oh, there's some great movies on. And then he starts buying a whole bunch of pay-per-view movies.
Yeah.
Okay? Are you cool with that?
I would. Yeah.
You'd be all right with that?
As long as he wasn't in my bed.
Yeah. Oh, he's in your bed.
Yeah. All
He's
right.
in-
So then I would say, Omar's staying. I know Omar. I better set some ground rules.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
people,
but
when
not,
you
and there
allow,
would be many. There would, in fact, I can't think of any. I think I would have a mi casa su casa policy as well, and certainly, I don't know if there's anything in our
Ooh.
house.
I just scanned the bottle.
How
well,
much?
and
It's $94.
yeah, that's too
Under
much.
100, you're fine.
That's too. No, I disagree.
Oh,
I
man.
disagree. That's too
I gotta
heavy.
get them a bottle. I agree.
Yeah, now you got to replace
Well,
it.
that's what then you have
It's
to
really,
follow up.
it's so tasty though. You know what? I'll never forget this moment.
Yeah.
That doesn't do them any good. Yeah.
Will you replace the bottles?
Yes, of course. I'm not one of those people.
Yeah. I
Of course
mean,
I'm not that.
Oh,
I mean,
jeez.
probably. No,
I don't think it's as bad. I would err on the side of asking or not doing it.
Do you remember
But-
last week in last week's podcast when Omar asked us if we were good house guests, and he said he was an amazing house guest?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that went
Yeah.
out the window.
Well, remember when he said that he was a jack of all trades and could do lots of change the oil and do
He
everything?
did say
and
that
we
as well.
pushed him on
That's
that.
true.
Yeah,
Well,
and
we
it
don't-
wasn't.
yeah, we
so-
don't, yeah, that was
yeah,
bullshit
so
as well.
there's a lot of questionable things that
You can't. I would never. This is what makes me a good house guest. I would never take anything of any type of value at all from a house.
What
I was
about a
staying
$30 bottle of wine?
in. No, wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do any. I would never open a single bottle of wine. Wouldn't do it. I would go and get a bottle if I wanted.
Has
something like
this
that.
family stayed with you, Omar? And have you done something similar?
We vacationed together. That doesn't count.
No, that does not count.
They're planning on visiting me actually in soon with their family. So, but
Yeah.
nothing heretofore.
They are going to ravage the shit out of everything you own.
I want
Well-
them to. I want them to.
Yeah, and that's
Okay, but that's different. That's wonderful.
you're right,
That's how
Joshua.
you are.
Josh, you're right. You're
It's
right.
not how
I-
everybody is.
No, that is a fair point. And I'm going to make a concerted effort tomorrow to go get.
You know,
one.
there's part of me. There's a part of me, and I'm not going to say how big a part of me, but there's a part of me that really hopes
That
that is like their dying grandfather's bottle that he gave them on his deathbed, and it was the last thing they said. I want you to have this wine and don't open it. Pass it from generation to generation.
only
I
on your
made this
50th.
by myself. I stomped on the grapes.
I did not mention this. I believe that there were 2 bottles of this in the fridge, and that was one of the reasons why I was comfortable taking it. Let me confirm that.
And it's a
Right.
wine fridge. I'm
a
not
wine
a
fridge.
Yeah,
I have
so
a wine fridge.
So
but
you would put your best bottles in the wine fridge.
you put all your bottles that are refrigerated in
Well, some
there.
people have like 100 bottles, like then and
Yeah.
they
Well,
don't.
if those people have other means by which to put their wine in, I would
I'm just
imagine.
wondering if
I don't
it's
know.
in a wine fridge, is that if there's an underlying statement that this is not your best bottle.
So
No,
It's a drinkable place.
some bottles have to be refrigerated.
But something you're saving for the next 20 years, I don't know.
okay.
Why not?
So
I've had a
maybe-
Capri Sun in my fridge since 1987.
A what?
A fruit punch Capri Sun.
A ham sandwich. Yeah.
One of these days is going to be delicious. As soon as I can find
Maybe-
the straw.
So maybe at this point, I think I'm having a little bit of a mild panic attack. But maybe you guys can help me think about how to handle it at this point. Don't say you should ever have gotten to this point to begin with. We're here
Yeah,
right now.
you're
what
here
would you
now.
do tomorrow?
You're here.
I think two
Would
for
you,
one.
would you text my friend? Should I text her right now and say?
So there's a
"I'm
couple
so
ways
sorry."
to play it. There's a couple ways to play it.
Yes.
The first way you can play it, which is the way I would play it, is I would text like, "Hey, do you mind if I crack open this bottle of wine?" Because now you're not admitting to anything. And if they say yes, done, you're in the clear. If they say no, then you got to fess up anyway, which you were going to do regardless. But at least you have an out without repercussion.
You could try to replace with the same bottle, possibly.
You could.
Or
why
you could
not
say,
wait
well,
till tomorrow? Yeah.
what about I accidentally dropped it, getting the mayonnaise out of the back of, I guess it's not
the
a
wine fridge. I don't know who's keeping their helmets.
I
in
keep
the wine
forgetting
fridge.
it's not a fridge. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just
no.
a podunk from Wisconsin.
Yeah. That's the Midwest answer. I was trying to get the relish from behind the wine fridge.
Is that Sean Connery?
Yeah, that was Sean Connery's hick cousin.
It's a very
I am the last
actor.
dragon.
Yeah.
I think what we do. I feel like we're all kind of in this together at this point.
I don't think so.
We're in this together. I don't remember drinking anything.
So I think what we do is I will look if that bottle's available tomorrow, and if it's not, then I will send a text tomorrow to my friend.
To see if you can get it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Before you leave. Okay, you have time.
I'm for 10 days.
Yeah, you have time.
What I've learned from this, and thank you both of you very much. What I've learned, other David, was Joshua. I think you're right.
Thank you.
What I learned is that I at least was if I hadn't brought this up as my topic, I would have drank the next 4 bottles.
Yeah, that's a major mistake.
But now you can ask, and you might be able to get access to those 3. Yeah.
Yeah,
you can head off at the pass. Yeah. Here's the only thing I think you do have is if they were really upset, is say, but here's the upside. I did a podcast where I talked about this, and it's hilarious. And
it gave me material.
Yes, and so you're memorialized forever. That bottle might have been special, but the podcast will live longer. It's it actually has brought more joy to more people.
Maybe we can put the podcast into the bottle, and they can put it into their wine fridge.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, that's an excellent idea.
Let me know when you work that technology out.
Amazing. I hope they're pissed.
Well, something to follow up on.
That's what I hope.
This is 2 podcasts worth of entertainment. So
yes,
you text them and you gotta let us know how this works out.
Dying to know.
Yeah, and maybe they'll be listeners too. All right. Well, should we go to our next topic?
Let's do it.
All right, Josh, you want to go next?
Sure. So I had a conversation. I was down the shore, and it's with my family, and we're around the table. We were just shooting the shit, having fun, just reminiscing. It was my wife and my parents, and my sister and her husband. And we were talking.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Were there drugs involved?
Yes, plenty. And I said, we were talking about growing up. My sister and I were talking about our upbringing and how we had 6 dogs growing up. And to which my brother-in-law said, "Wow, 6 dogs? I don't know how you juggled that. That's a lot of dogs to have." And I said, "No. We didn't have 6 dogs at once.
Oh.
We had 6 dogs growing up through adolescence." And he went,
They all died?
What do you mean 6 dogs? How could you have 6 dogs? And I started to go through it, and so I'll go through it real quick, and then it just hit me like, wait a second, is this not normal? There's something wrong here, because so when I was a baby, we had a dog named Prince.
Was somebody? Oh wait, hold on. Was someone in your family? Were you by chance related to Michael Vick? Like, who was killing?
I used the Michael Vick joke last podcast. Well, you can't recall the Michael Vick joke.
I'm just saying, these dogs are dying off. If a 6-year-old has 6 dogs,
well, that's when people at the table, other than my sister and myself and my parents, said, "That's weird. I had 1 dog growing up, because dogs live for
they
take
last. Care of them. Yeah."
So we started to go through it. So I'm gonna walk you through, and I want to hear your opinion on my on my dog childhood. We had a dog named Prince. Had a heart attack on the bed when I was like 2 years old, before my sister was born. So there you go. So that dog's done. That's one out of the way. Then we had a beagle, and this beagle was a terror, and would, at least what my parents told us at the time, was he would chew all our toys. And so they sent Beagle to a farm to run around. So we're like, okay, but when you're a kid, you're like, oh, good. I hope he enjoys the farm. not knowing what the farm really was.
Right.
You know, right? The farm
heaven is the farm.
Is dead. Yeah, dead. Omar, are you familiar with that?
Well, what do you chew into like some cyanide?
He apparently was a terrible dog and was very disobedient and chewed up everything in the house. And my parents were like, "This is not going to work."
So they killed it.
No, he's on a farm. You didn't hear me, Dave.
Yeah, I know what the farm is. Yes.
Then we had a dog named Pookie, and Pookie was a mutt. And this dog I loved. I remember this dog vividly. And apparently, Pookie had, what we were told was Pookie had horrible allergies and had to go. What we learned later in life, and real recently, was my dad became allergic to Pookie. And so Pookie went to a farm.
Back to the farm?
Yes. Then my dad brought home this boxer named Fawn, big dog, who terrified the shit out of us. I mean, this dog was enormous, but actually loved the family and then bit like half our friends. I remember my one friend, Jeff, came over, bit his lip almost clean off. I mean, this dog jumped on him, and the dog hated everybody but the family. That dog would go nuts when the mailman came. We lived in like a split level, and on the second floor, we had a big glass window looking out, and the mailman came up, and the dog, I shit you not, jumped through the friggin' glass window. Through the window. Farm. All
right, we're farm in a row. Heart attack and 3 farms.
Then we got a Cocker Spaniel named Mandy, who was the greatest dog. And Mandy, my sister, who I keep telling to this day, remind her, she was holding Mandy on the front yard, let Mandy go, and Mandy then got run over by a car right in front of us.
Oh, Mandy.
Killed. Right in front of us, yes. And that's why that Barry Manilow song
is that what's based on?
Tremors down my spine every time I hear it. Then we got a dog named Max, another Cocker Spaniel. And this dog was great at first and then had a back problem and then became a living nightmare. And the dog, like, you couldn't go near it. You could not, it would snap at you. If it was on the bed, forget it. You couldn't move it over. If it was sleeping in your spot, you were done. If it had a bone, forget it. That was done too. You couldn't pet the dog, couldn't go near it. In fact, with Max, this is unbelievable. So we would bring this dog with us back and forth from the beach. And I'm driving. I had 2 of my buddies with me, and I'm driving the dog. For some reason, I was bringing the dog back home. And I had the dog in the back seat, and my buddy Rob's back there. And I said, "Hey, Rob, I'm just going to let you know, don't touch Max." He's like, "Why?" I said, "This dog is vicious, is an asshole. Don't touch Max." Okay. So we're driving. We're about, 45 minutes in. I'm on the expressway. And I just, in the rearview mirror, I just see, the dog is attacking the shit out of my buddy and is just ripping his arm to shreds. I had to pull over on the shoulder.
Cocker Spaniel?
Yeah, Cocker Spaniel. I had to pull over on the shoulder. I had to get the dog away from him, and he was bloody. I mean, it was bad. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, what are you doing? I told you not to touch the dog. And he said, yeah, but he looks so cute. And he did. He looked cute, but you can't touch this dog. And so that was the end of Max. So those were the. Yeah, well, actually, I think Max died on his own. We actually ended up. No, I think it was farm. It was farm. Okay. But he was late in life, very late in life.
Were these all rescues?
No,
That's
two
my
of
question.
them. 2 of them were rescues. Two of them were rescues.
4 were puppies that you raised.
4. Well, I don't know about Prince. That was I think Prince was, or maybe he was a rescue too. I'm not sure. Fawn was a rescue. Pookie was a rescue, and Mandy and Max, the 2 last Cocker Spaniels, I believe, were not rescues. Yeah, so that's 6 dogs in a matter of like.
But I mean,
14,
I don't know.
14 years.
Yeah, I
15
mean,
years.
I'm a little flabbergasted because
that's what everyone said at the table, and we thought it was. My sister and I like, we thought this was pretty normal, and it's not normal at all.
I don't think it
Apparently.
is at all. Yeah.
Is your father Michael Vick?
Yeah, you revisited that joke once again.
The 5th time it will be funny again. Yeah.
But we did have a 3rd and 4th sibling. We have no clue what the hell happened to them. I think they're on a farm.
They're at the farm too.
They're at the farm.
Taking care of the dogs.
But isn't that nuts? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And I never thought twice about it until we were talking at the table a few weeks ago and discussing it, going, wow, that is strange. We had a lot of friggin' dogs in a very short period of time.
And you don't have a dog. You don't have a dog now.
Yeah, we have a dog now. So in fact, when I went to college, my junior year, like an idiot, I got a dog. I got a pug. I found it in the paper. It was in Alabama. I drove to Alabama, which wasn't too far from Georgia, but I drove to Alabama. Found it was on a dirt road in the shittiest little neighborhood.
Hey! Alabama's fantastic.
No, I'm not saying anything about Alabama. I'm just saying where I got the dog was in this shitty, awful, like I think it was almost like a trailer park, and the guy had them, and it was terrible conditions. I felt awful for the whole litter of pugs. But I even wrote the guy a check. He took a personal check, which was I didn't even think about it at the time. I was a dumb college kid going, oh yeah, I'll write you a check. And like an idiot, he took it. I could have easily just written him nothing and walked away.
Right.
But I didn't. It was legitimate. But I got that dog and realized quickly, like, oh boy, I'm not equipped to take care of a dog in college. And I had to bring that dog home. And my parents watched him until I graduated. Then I took him and he lived with me for a while until he died.
What was it? What was his name?
Offie.
That's 7 dogs.
Yeah, that's 7. Yeah. And then we have a dog now. My family has a dog now, Pixie, who's a Bojack, and she's great. She's awesome. But that would be 8 dogs. And my sister got the
family dog you have now is lasting. It's like
she's awesome. She's 9. Okay. We got her as a pup.
All right.
Yeah. I didn't pull the same shit that my parents pulled on my sister and I for those 14, 15 years when we went through 6 dogs, like it was a turnstile.
That is
isn't that nuts?
There's a documentary here, I think. There's
I don't know.
Were you emotionally distraught over any of these doggies?
Yeah, it probably was. I loved every one of them. Look, Max, I was kind of relieved that he was gone because we lived in terror. We lived in fear of this dog. But the boxer was a big dog. It was a little scary.
I think if you.
But I love the other dogs.
If you had the listeners like force rank, who, for example, has the best sense of humor, that stuff's obvious. Or
yes, I agree.
Yeah,
clever.
I think we're all in agreement.
Yes.
But, like, who is the least likely to cry? And I think that might be Josh. Josh, you don't think he's a crier.
I'm not a crier. I've cried a couple times. But I cried when my last dog died. I definitely cried. That was tough. I took him in. He was old. I think he was 13 or 14. He had a kidney stone, and they said, we're gonna have to. It's really blocking him. It's giving him a lot of pain. We're gonna have to operate on him. I'm like, oh my God, operate on him. And they said, yeah, but he's old, so I just want to keep him for a good 3 to 4 days afterwards to really monitor. I'm like, okay, well, whatever you have to do. I love that dog. And I remember I came back from a work trip, and I was driving home, and I get a call, or my wife called me. It's like, hey, the vet's trying to get in touch with you. And I called the vet back, and they're like, I swear to God, this is what they said. Mr. Kaplan, I'm so sorry, but Offie, because he had the surgery, by the way, and was successful. Like, oh, he's successful. You can pick him up in a few days. We're going to watch him. Like, he passed away today, and we're sorry. And I'm like, oh my God. I was like, and they said, yeah, and that'll be $1,400 for the surgery. And I went, I was so sure. I go, are you kidding me? Number one, you're going to charge me for
can you imagine taking your car,
you killing my dog,
and they lost your car?
You killed my dog.
Yeah. Hey,
and maybe it wasn't your fault.
That's not the right metaphor.
Not the time to bring up the bill for the surgery that killed my dog.
Yeah, right.
20 seconds after telling me my dog is dead.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little ridiculous. But anyway, that was that was that.
I want to go back to these 6 or 7 dogs that your parents were dealing with here.
Yes.
But I can't put my finger on it. Somewhere along the way, there's so many dogs that had a bad outcome. There was a poor decision-making process that was happening.
Yeah.
And I can't quite figure it out. So one is buying a boxer.
Yeah, or not ability to raise pets or puppies.
Well, but that's true. That maybe if you're a dog in Josh's household, it's not a heart attack. Like the dog that ran in front of a car, that was not an accident.
It's like being born in North Korea.
Well, my sister killed that dog. My sister let that dog go, and it got run right over, right in front of us. By the way, I was playing in the front yard.
Are you sure they didn't do it on purpose?
It's like the Hunger Games. The Hunger Games.
Oh my God, it was devastating. I remember my dad scooped it up.
Oh my
Oh
God.
boy.
All
geez.
right.
Yeah.
On an 8, I would prefer to
Yeah, this is
not
a tough
extend this
topic.
topic since
Yeah,
I
tough
have.
topic
Well,
for
what
Omar.
I'm saying, I think
We're
part of
talking to
it is,
Dog Man here.
yeah,
Ain't that
that's
what
true,
Yeah.
dog man.
That's
Dog
T-Bone,
man does not
T-Bone.
like this topic.
yeah. It's a well, but who would buy a boxer that's terrifying the family? Like
So
that,
that's
I
the
think.
thing. So my dad did that. My dad. So when I think about it, my dad would just come home with dogs when
Yeah.
when we didn't have a dog, and sometimes they were rescue dogs, and the rescue dogs weren't well thought out. I mean, the one mutt, that he became allergic to, obviously wasn't well thought out,
Yeah.
and he had skin problems and all sorts of issues
The
like
mutt
that.
or your father?
The mutt, the mutt, the mutt. Oh, that's what they told me. Sorry. You know what? I screwed that whole thing up. I'm just remembering it. It's such been ingrained in my head now from what they told me. They told me my dad was allergic to the dog and that the dog had to go, Pookie. And we said, oh, okay, well, we'd rather have our dad than the dog, even though that was still a very trying thing and very difficult. But that wasn't really what happened because they filled us in later. I keep saying this if that happened because it's ingrained in me because that's what I was told. What happened was the dog had serious skin problems and all sorts of irritations and my dad wasn't allergic to the dog, but the dog had all these issues and they're like, we can't,
We're
this
out.
is too, we're out, we're
Yeah.
out, we're
Yeah.
out.
I think. Yeah. There's. Yeah. Well,
But
it
we love
feels like there
dogs.
is a quick decision to jump in,
Possibly,
but not the
possibly.
staying power to stay in.
Yeah.
Listen,
something-
you
Yeah,
talk about your
yeah.
father, and I kind of like how he rolls. My dad did that, but he did it with cars. So
Yeah,
it
well,
depends,
you get a little less emotionally attached to cars than you do animals.
not my dad.
But I'm thinking about
It's
changing
all
my living
relative.
will and taking my dad out of the equation because
Yeah.
I think he'd be pretty quick to pull the plug on me.
Did he regularly discipline you by threatening to send you to boarding
Farm.
school, Josh? Could that
Or
have?
farm.
Did this translate?
Military school.
Yeah. Was that one of your? He might have been like this close to doing it. Good thing you
Oh
didn't have
my
a skin
God.
problem.
Yeah,
It was
seriously, can you imagine? But it's just crazy. I think back on it, and we just didn't think anything of it. My sister and I. It's so weird that we didn't think anything of it, and when we were having that
is weird.
conversation, we're going, "Oh wow, this is kind of odd. This is not normal."
Well, Omar, we can't hold a candle to your dog relationships that you have, but can I just quickly tell you my dog story? That we have a dog named Frog, and I have the opposite.
I love Frog.
This dog won't die.
How old is Frog? 28?
Yes, yeah. In human years, in dog years, it's 1,000 years old. So the first process, the poor decision making, was my wife and daughter said we're going to go look at dogs. They walked into PetSmart, which I don't think is like
No,
where
not
you
a place
find
you want to go.
purebreds. Yeah,
No.
I think this is the dogs that got like heave-hoed out the window on a highway. And so they walked in, saw a frog who was being held by the person near the door, and that's what they picked. The very first
Immediately
they saw. And they said, well, Frog is really cute because Frog has a few problems, but it's endearing. One is Frog has her tongue sticks out constantly. It doesn't ever stay in the mouth. The second is she missing a lot of her teeth. And the teeth that are missing isn't the side where the tongue is coming out, where you would think that's why the teeth isn't keeping the tongue. The teeth are on that side. The teeth are missing on the other side. So the dog's tongue is overlapping the actual teeth. And as it's gotten older, it's also dumb. It's untrainable.
Hey! Come on, dogs.
It's true. No, I mean,
was he named Frog? By the way, I always meant to ask you: was he named Frog prior to you getting it?
Yes, yeah, that's what they call them at the store, and we did not change the name.
Yeah.
So now, fast forward 10 plus years later, Frog now has one eye. All the teeth have been pulled because the cataracts. The other eye is not great. Is completely deaf. Probably, and I kid you not, this is no exaggeration, about 50 different tumors across her body. She's like one big bumpy dog. She lives forever, this dog. She will
Rasputin.
Not.
You ought to change her name to Rasputin.
Yeah, I
won't die.
Yeah.
How old is she?
So can I send her over to your parents' house for a few days?
Yeah, if you want my dad to get involved, just say the word.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure the day that Frog dies, what's going to happen? I'm going to cry like a baby.
Of course you will. Of course you will. So how old is Frog? What's the age of Frog?
We got her 10. Let's say we got her 11 years ago, and she was old. Not old, but she was a mature. So it's probably 13, 14 years old.
Maybe even older.
So it's she
Maybe
is
older.
an old girl now. But
So what are they saying about the tumors? Are they all benign?
you know, do you know that Simpsons episode where they do an exam on Homer and they said, you actually have every disease known to man, but
No,
somehow
I
because
don't.
you have them all, they counteract and you live. I
That's
think
Frog.
that's what's happening with Frog. Yeah.
That's Frog.
Every single one should kill her, but the fact she has so many problems, it's keeping her afloat. So
That's
anyway,
amazing.
yeah, we have the opposite problem.
You ought
I
to
don't know
start
which
a
one
frog,
has.
a frog death pool. Is that too morbid? Is that bad?
No,
I'm sure your babies don't want to have her ever leave.
my kids are very attached to Frog.
Of course you're
Yeah.
attached.
Yeah.
Part of the family.
But Frog, to this day, will not go outside to do her business.
Oh no.
If it's raining, yep, I'm not going outside out there. I'm going to do it right here in
So
the house.
Frog
So,
is still having accidents.
yeah, right. It's untrainable. There's
every day. Every day, Frog has accidents.
no, not every day, but it's common enough that it's just part of the deal.
So my sister went on vacation with her family, and she's got 2 dogs. Gave us the puppy that she got recently. Cute little puppy, adorable.
To watch or to have?
To watch
Okay.
and she was gone for 11 days, whatever it was, 10, 11 days. This dog shit on my pillow, pissed on our new couch, all over the new couch. Right after we took it out, by the way. That's the craziest part.
Yeah.
They put bells on our door because this dog knows how to ring the bells when it has to go out.
But not at your house, probably.
No, did it. Rang the bells, take it out, it shits, it goes to the bathroom, comes back in, shits again. Almost like spite. Almost for spite. It's like this dog went.
They can't help it.
No, this dog is a spite dog. And it's so cute. You can't get mad at him, but you still you go, oh my God. You want to throw it through a window.
This dog is suffering from the same affliction or anger issues that your other dogs had. I think they spent a little bit of time in your house and like
maybe it's us.
I think there's something.
But my
going
dog
on.
now doesn't do anything. She's great. She has this as a problem in the car. Other than that, she's awesome.
All right. Well.
Yeah, anyway, so there's my story.
We've learned a little bit more about you. I think.
Yeah. It's an onion.
Omar, don't you think Josh's cold-hearted, non-caring attitude was kind of fostered by the fact that he saw this death in his life? I mean, I think that's given Josh the ability to.
Oh my God, that's it.
Yeah.
That song by Elton John. Cold, cold heart. I can rewrite that song about Josh and his 8 dogs.
Yeah, right.
6. So do you think that I became?
You've had 8 in total.
Well, that's true. Do you think I've just become hardened because I just saw dogs come in and out?
So a lot of death in your life. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
That's very scary.
So it's toughened me up. So maybe I should kill our dog to get my kids a little tougher. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're suggesting or no? Did I read that wrong?
David, I have to say, even as flippantly as he just said that, I think he doesn't really feel anything.
Who would have said that?
Of course I
do.
I would never do that.
Have you threatened your kids with military school?
Of course.
Yes. Well, that's another benefit of this podcast is we're learning about each other every step of the way. All right, I'm ready for my topic. You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
So
Bring it on.
I saw a movie this week that I was so happy, and I want to tell everyone about it because I think it was so good. Top Gun. Yes. No. Although I heard Top Gun is back in the theaters. And next, and it's like
you've already seen it twice.
Movie, like it's coming back. There's Top Gun. I saw the movie Prey. Not Prey.
Schwarzenegger.
No, but it is a Predator movie. Yes, it's P.
I never heard of it.
Prey. It's on Hulu.
Is it new?
It's only released on Hulu, which is interesting because it is a movie that should have been shown on the big screen, honestly. But it is it's about it takes place in like 1716 in the United States, and it's with the Chippewa Indian Nation that's lived. And so they're living, and I think like settlers are coming in, and this is where the French trappers are starting to like invade territory. They're skinning buffalo, and it's that kind of time period in our American history, right?
Tatanka.
Yes, exactly.
Remember that Dancing with Wolves, Kevin Costner?
Yes,
that's the only thing I remember from that movie.
That's probably super offensive, but yes, that's
no, it's
exactly.
not. It means buffalo in whatever language he learned.
You can't say it. Anyway, you take that sort of, and it's actually
Facts.
not a warring situation. It's a peaceful American Indian sort of community, and they are doing their thing. Well, the predator drops in, and now they're fighting the predator. That is the story.
Don't ruin this movie.
What do you mean
for
the
me.
predator drops in? What predator?
Well,
the white man?
No. Predator from the movie Predator. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, you know what? I never saw that.
Oh my God!
Never
David,
saw
why
it?
do we
I know,
have-
I know,
Why do we?
I
Why do
know.
we keep him on this podcast?
I know. I never saw
Yeah,
it. I
your
never
pop
saw it.
culture
Ridiculous.
is.
So is this movie based on a true story or no?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not a reality TV show, unfortunately. That's why. But do you understand the concept of the predator?
No, I don't actually.
Oh,
Isn't that sad?
That is. Well, that
Yeah,
is an
it's weird.
iconic 80s movie.
What's weird with me is there are plenty of iconic movies that I've never seen, and I don't know why. I just have never seen them. I've never seen a Meryl Streep movie. Never. And not on purpose. Not on purpose. I think she's I guess, because I've never seen, but I hear she's an amazing actress.
Yes, although
But
I
I've never
I
seen a
can't
Meryl
think of a
Streep
single
movie.
one that I would say, well, then you got to see The Bridges Over Madison County.
No,
or,
Sophie's Choice, or there's plenty.
Devil Wears Prada. She was amazing.
that could be a better. Yeah.
I mean,
he
everyone
won't like
talks.
any of those movies, though. There's not a single Meryl Streep movie that he would like.
Okay, yeah, but the fact that I've never seen one is just crazy.
Yeah. It teach her acting teaches you compassion, which would probably help you in raising your dogs, maybe.
No interest.
So, well,
so this movie is the Predator. Give me the quick.
have you seen
what's the
Terminator?
Predator? Yes, I have seen Terminator.
A Terminator basically,
Yes.
if you take the
Unstoppable
personality
force.
of the Terminator and put it into an alien that's got every gadget, like razors for fingernails. It's a beast and it's a predator because it is nothing can kill it. It kills everything else.
And
So
all it
has,
does is kill. All it does is kill.
yes, there's no
It
compassion.
kills as sport.
Right.
That's what
Okay.
David's missing for whatever reason.
That's
Got it.
It
that's
has it has nightlight vision, nightlife.
It has nightlife.
It goes to clubs.
It goes to raves.
Yeah, it does.
Was it at
bottle
Woodstock
service.
'99?
yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of
But-
the point with Predator, yes, is
David,
that
please do not ruin this
I won't.
movie for me. I want to watch it. Actually, I might watch it tonight.
I just want to add one detail of the Predator universe is that it's true. Predators there's kind of a sense that the predators live on some planet somewhere and they go around to planets all over.
Oh, so there's more than one.
Yes.
Okay.
And they will go to places where they feel there are warriors that are worth fighting.
Oh, so they're looking for a
Yeah.
fight.
And they
They
want
want
to
a
win.
challenge.
Right. So the first one was Arnold Schwarzenegger and his commando
Got it.
team.
Action
And it was-
Jackson, Jesse the Body Ventura.
Yeah, it was an all-star cast of tough guys, and the Predator dropped in, and they went at it. Well, this movie, it's the Chippewa Nation, and they're fighting these mostly they're the male, but the main character is a female, the sister of the war chief, and I think where becomes the war chief, and she ends up being the main protagonist. Great movie. So you have to work with me here, Josh, if on the premise of my question is I was thinking about, okay, let's say the three of us were dropped.
Yeah.
Usually the Predator is in like this movie and the original, it happened in a jungle, or in here it was the Central Plains, which was very wooded
Okay.
in America. If the three of us were dropped in and the Predator dropped,
Yep.
which of the three of us would get killed first and
Me.
who would last the longest?
It'd be me. I would die first. I have
You would die first?
Zero doubts about it.
Why do you say? I mean, I don't disagree.
Because I'd be shitting myself. I'm not a fighter. I'm just not. I've never really been in a fight my entire life, a physical fight. I have no desire to be in a physical fight. I don't know what it's like to get punched in the face. I don't want to know.
But maybe
I
you make
imagine
it
it
because you'd run.
hurts.
You'd be a runner.
I'm quick. I am quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
But,
that's your.
I guess I have to outrun you, and I think I could do that. I think I could outrun Omar as well. I think I'd beat both of you in a race.
No, but I would trip you. That's the difference.
You would trip me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of sportsmanship is that?
This isn't sport, bro. This
Yeah,
is
yeah,
life.
this is the law of the jungle.
I
Yeah,
would-
but it's only
I
a
would-
matter of time before the predator gets you too.
Yeah, but
So-
I would not be first. No way.
You think you'd be last?
Yeah, I would be last.
Well, why do you say
Last?
that?
Yeah, I would make the predator laugh. So
Yeah, that's not.
it would keep
I
me
don't think
around.
that's how it works.
He has zero sense of humor. He
Yeah.
clicks.
I
In
don't.
fact, I think he only sees.
I've never seen Predator, but I know that's not how it works.
Yeah, his sense of humor is very low.
Yeah, I don't see myself. I think I'd be like, this is it. Like everyone else, do you ever ask like your friends like how long would you survive in prison? I'd survive for an hour, not even. I don't even
No.
think an hour. Maybe 20 minutes.
I don't know.
No,
I
you
think
would-
someone would pick you as their girlfriend, and you would last a long time.
No, Josh.
Oh, I would absolutely have to be someone's girlfriend. There's no question
would-
about it.
fun.
Unfortunately, that's my only avenue in
You'd
prison.
be like, raise your hand.
Sucks. I
available.
don't like it, but
Yeah.
that's that's all I got.
So you would survive longer then. I think I
Me?
would be the first to go in prison. Yeah, because I would. I
No,
think
I'd be first to go in prison.
I'd be targeted, and I would not let. I would be no one's girlfriend. So I think I would be.
Well, that's interesting. Actually, who's the cutest of the three of us? In
That's
prison?
really
Well, that's
not
a
what
very
Dave was going with that.
different question.
That was a very different question. Who is the most attractive to a prisoner? Is that what
Correct.
you're asking?
Correct.
That's
Yeah.
very different. I'm going to
Yeah.
say Dave on that one.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Well,
Yeah, I
the
think you
baby
got
face,
that
you think?
vibe. Yeah, you got that vibe that I think
that's what I'm
prisoners.
afraid of.
Yeah, it would be like, oh yeah,
My
that's all me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a problem.
Although Omar's got the sweet tats, and maybe they're into that.
Yeah, they might be confused when they see Omar that they might think he's tough. Do you think that could happen? But that's not, when
No.
we're talking prison. I'm talking about predator. So this is
Yeah. Oh yeah. You want to go back to that? That's right. You want to
This
go
is
back to
wilderness
that? Yes, yes.
survival. Like,
So
could
let me
you-
ask you a question because I've never seen the original movie, the other. How do you get away from the predator? Is the predator smart? Is the predator fast?
Oh yeah, yeah. It has advanced technology. So the way
So the hell
Arnold,
it's only a matter of time.
yeah, no, we're all dying. It's who lasts the longest. So it's either who's the fastest, who's the cleverest, who could hide the best, who like whatever the. Now Arnold Schwarzenegger, he, built sharp sticks and made like contraptions that would like, traps that the predator would trip and.
Yeah, I
logs
can't
and
do that.
stones. So I think we can rule all of us out for that. Although I was trying to wonder if Omar, with the skills in changing oil in a car,
He
do you have
can
any
change
ability to
oil in a
make
car.
traps
That's
in the
true.
wilderness, Omar? Do you feel? Would you give that a try?
Listen, I went to college in Virginia. Okay, so I know, one of my favorite songs of all time is "A Country Boy Can Survive."
Okay.
And I know how to survive in the country. So because I went to school for 4 years in Virginia.
Wait,
Yeah, this is
was-
not even remotely equatable.
Was the school in a wooded area?
No.
Yes.
More of an urban setting. I'm guessing.
And I've gone hunting.
No, I have to.
I've held a gun in my hands.
Yeah, but hunting is not fair.
It's camouflage where you're like hiding from like, the birds and geese.
Yeah, but if they spot you, nothing happens.
Josh, my point is when I was in the wilderness with camouflage, I felt like peaceful. I blend. I'm brown already. I look like mud. I'm much.
But you got
more
all those
adaptable.
bracelets that make
Yeah,
noise
you're right.
when you walk.
That's true. I'd actually have to take this off.
His necklace
Yeah.
would
Boy,
flash.
You got
That-
bracelets that make Johnny Depp jealous.
His sunglasses would reflect the sun. They'd be
Yeah.
caught in a second.
Those are both valid points. Support valid.
Predator
you're
might look
going
at you and
you're
go
going
like,
down.
Why is he wearing
It's
sunglasses in the middle of the
funny
day?
when I do go in the ocean. As I shouldn't wear. You always hear not to wear shiny things. You always hear that, but I like wearing my bracelets and my sunglasses. And so I'm like, if something happens to me, then screw it. I want to keep them on because I like to look, to feel it. Do you guys?
Whoa there,
precautions
Johnny
like
Yuma.
But do you guys take precautions like that when you go with like bright things?
What precautions? I don't wear bright things.
Bright things for
You don't wear any jewelry at all?
I wear a necklace, but I take it off every time I go swimming or to the beach or whatever. I don't wear it when I.
What is on this necklace?
My grandfather's ring.
Oh, it's not your grandfather's bottle of wine, thank God.
That's not
Oh,
my
ring.
grandfather's bottle of wine. That was I did that originally and it weighed me down. It gave me neck problems. So I put it in my wine fridge and now it's gone. I can't find it.
That's God. Dave,
Yeah,
how about
I should have left it on my necklace.
I wear a wedding ring and that's it.
Yeah, my wedding ring, exactly.
no watch? No watch.
Oh no,
No,
I have
I
an
don't-
Apple Watch.
I don't
Other
like
than that,
watches.
I don't wear a watch. It's infrequent I would wear a watch, but no.
But
with Apple Watch.
you don't wear your Apple Watch to go in the ocean or to go swimming. or
No,
go-
no.
Yeah, right. That's my point.
No,
Omar
I don't
just goes
have-
in.
Necklaces or anything. Nope. No earrings. No nothing.
So what are you saying about precautions and the predator? Look, the way I hear this, none of us have any type of skill set whatsoever to beat or outlast a predator.
No.
I've been in 3 fights and I've won all of them.
Really?
Yep.
The
3
fourth
fights.
being about the
I'm
wine
not-
bottle.
But not debate club. Are you counting debate club?
No, I'm talking about physical fights. Physical fights.
Yeah, fist to the face.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
how old were you with the last physical fight?
My most recent one.
Yes.
It was 1994, 95.
Okay, all right. So
That's a
you're
very
not
violent
in
year.
fighting condition.
Yeah.
And what started the fight? I'm very curious. How did the fight happen?
Well, I think once you're a fighter forever. But
Yeah,
having
I don't
having
think
said-
I don't think so.
having-
The things you say.
It's amazing.
no, I don't think that's untrue. So so this is I'll be as concise as possible. So I was best friends with Lori.
Don't name names.
Lori was good friends with me from home, and she was dating a man whose name I will not say, but
Was it the Gooch?
close. It's 4 letters, not 5, but started with a J. Anyway, my friend who I was fraternity brothers with was having an affair with Lori,
Yeah.
and I wanted Lori.
He thought it was you?
No, I wanted Lori to leave her boyfriend and go hang out with my boy.
So leave the Gooch and go to this guy. Yeah.
Mhm. Anyway, I gave a bunch of reasons why, and apparently one night I'm leaving a fraternity house with a girl who would like me, which had never happened before, to leave to go back to my fraternity room, and this guy is drunk and he sees me. I guess Lori
Worst
told him.
timing.
She told him everything. So he
Why would you
screamed.
do that? You were friends with her.
I don't know. I never talked to her about it actually.
Ah.
I will say that. Well, I'll get to the
Yeah.
best part of the story in a second. But he was drunk, and he's with 2 of his friends, and he was in the lacrosse fraternity called Phi Delt, and all next thing I know, there's a circle of people around me, and he's screaming at me, and I'm trying to
Oh my God.
I'm trying to deflate all the
Yeah.
I'm important, all these other things, and he throws me on the ground, and I get up and I say, please don't do that again. But again, I'm nobody important. Like, what I say means nothing. And he threw me on the ground again. So I got up, and I'm not kidding. I hit him.
Yeah.
And he
Well,
went
at that
down.
point, yeah.
Went
You
down
did like in the.
he went down like a ton of bricks. He must have been drunk, or
But
he
you
was
were sober or sober enough that
I
you
was
had
sober enough. I wasn't drunk.
Yeah.
I'm not that big of a drinker, unless it's my friend.
Wow, you must have been a hero.
Yeah, and then so I'm walking back with this girl who
That must have turned her on.
Yeah, so we get back to my fraternity room. I'm playing Dave Matthews. Okay.
Yeah, of course, Virginia.
And I don't know what I'm doing, which arguably is still the case very, very much today with a woman. But anyway, so we get to the point where it's getting intimate, and she goes to me. She goes, "Do you have?" And you know this as men. There's a certain point when a woman can ask a man any question in the world, and a man's going to say yes. And she asked me if I had any whipped cream, and I'm like, "Yeah, of course I have whipped cream." So
wait. All right, keep going. I'm not even going to stop this.
Assuming that we would do exactly the same thing here.
Of course, yeah.
So I go to my mini fridge, I pull it out, and I go back onto the bed, and I'm like, where do I put this? I don't know where to put it on her at all. I picked like 3 spots, her belly button.
Where's this going? Where's this going?
And then the girl goes, wait, what did you put on me? Wait, is this sour cream and onion dip? And I go, it's all that I had. She goes, oh my God, give me a towel. Why did you put this on me? I'm like, it's all that I had. She goes, this is gross. I need to clean up. And then she left. And and I swear, my hand to God, that was a true story. So it never happened for me that night. And there was years.
What a roller coaster of
Yeah, right. He was a hero and a goat at the same time.
You were scared, then you're a hero, then you're on top of the world, then it's getting better, and now you're a dog again.
Yeah. And by the way, that guy that I in some miracle of God knocked down in one punch, and Lori are married still today.
Oh, no
Swear to
way.
God. Swear to
Did
God.
did he ever come at you again after that moment?
No,
After that
I
incident?
thought there'd be like a fraternity war or something.
Yeah, you would
No.
think he'd want revenge, but I guess that's
Yeah.
it. That's the deal with bullies. You confront them once, and then they're like, that's not worth my time."
Well, you need to evaluate that very carefully. Some
That's
bullies,
true.
that's true. Some is
That's
the
true.
worst
That's a good
idea
point.
ever. Yeah.
That's a good
So
point.
don't,
Good point.
listeners, don't take that as a universal truth.
Yeah.
Be very careful. Well, Omar,
Good
with
point.
your punch story, I thought maybe you would survive longer, but when you got the sour cream and onion,
Now, you make bad decisions.
It
You make
makes
bad
me,
decisions on the fly. It's
there's some
basically what we've
cleverness
learned.
that you need to have with the predator, and I'm wondering. So I'm going to vote for myself. I think I grew up in Wisconsin. I know a little bit of hunting and with woods, and I can
Again,
start a fire. I think.
what is that going to do?
Well, I'll keep myself warm. If rather than freeze overnight.
Oh, so this is just who can
Who
just
will last the longest? Yeah. But now, if maybe you would win because you would just be like, I'm out of here, and you have the best endurance. You'd run a straight line like people should do in Friday.
That's what I
13th,
would do.
Never stop, and maybe
That's
you'd
what I
make
would do.
I think I would have a more cautious approach. I would get away, but I would try to be very careful. I feel like I know the woods better. We've spent a lot of time camping and in the woods, and so I think I could last
No,
long enough.
I don't think you could, David.
All right.
I think you would go first because you care too much about other people. That's your big problem.
What would that do?
Wow,
that
that's
wouldn't
a
do
nice
anything.
thing for you to
Because
say.
That's a
But
nice thing to say, but
He'd be so concerned about you and I that he would get his head cut off, like in the middle of like building us like a tent or something. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
and then when that happened and allowed us to escape, would we high five Omar, or would we feel bad?
yeah,
no, I would make sure I was one step ahead of you, just so I went.
Yeah.
Well, not only don't know if I'd win or not, now I don't know if you're my friends. Doggone it.
These are hypotheticals.
Oh, all right. Well, I think it's clear we'd all die. Let's just make it. And Omar,
It's
Josh,
not even a question. We wouldn't last long.
you need to watch the first Predator and then watch this movie on Hulu. Prey.
I'm on it.
Amazing.
I'm on
It's
it.
Great. It's
Can I watch the Hulu one without having seen the first one?
You can. Yes, you absolutely can. But you kind of miss the
Okay.
top
Nuance.
stuff, like, oh, that was Predator. And there's
Got it.
some callbacks, but if you like Predator, the first one, Omar, you got to see it. It's great.
I'm
All
in.
right. Well, guys, I think that's our episode 23. Omar, thanks again for calling in from London. This was great. I know you have a very busy time out there.
No, I have nothing. People say that when they travel because they want to make it sound like they're going out of their way. I have nothing going on.
Well, you do now. You have to hunt down a wine bottle and replace
Yes,
it.
I do.
All right.
Now you have a task.
I'm eating cheese. Like my biggest challenge here is trying to figure out how to figure out the air conditioning. And I don't think that's a common thing.
Oh,
It's
by the way,
not. Most people do not have air conditioning there.
yeah. And if you turn it all the way up, it's probably going to cost them $1,000 a day. Isn't that the problem in the UK
You're
right now?
going to destroy these people.
Yeah. Right. It's not the
Yeah.
wine bottle. It's our electricity bill.
Yeah,
That's the
no.
problem. Oh, boy. All right. Well, let's wrap it up for this week. Hey, on behalf of our FTS crew, thank you so much for listening to our show. We were so thankful to have you. Our numbers continue to go up, so we're so thankful to hear from you. We look forward to lots of nonsense next time. Until then, goodbye, everybody.
See ya.
Bye. Smell you later.